Hello, and thank you for joining me at L&R Painting Studios. This is Greg. Today we are going to be working on magnetizing and basing our movement trays for any type of Fantasy Battles game. I know over here we play a lot of 6th as well as 8th and are starting to dabble in Warhammer Armies project. Everyone knows when they move their tray, it gets annoying when you start seeing minis flop off of it. So I figured amongst the community that I know, I've been getting a lot of questions asked about, hey, how do I stop my models from falling off the tray like you see here? And for me, I use sheet magnet, super glue, and an X-Acto knife to help me cut the right dimensions. So come with me and let's do some magnetization. So what I like to use is a 6x4 magnetic sheet. It is self-adhesive on the back. However, I do not rely on the self-adhesion because I feel like it would come apart throughout time. So I do show a preference towards using Loctite super glue. The Loctite super glue is really great. I've never had an issue with it. I also use Loctite super glue to base my miniatures. It holds the base material on where I've used in the past PVA glue. I've had PVA glue scrape off over time and it's not fun. So next thing you'll also need is an X-Acto knife as I showed you earlier. And then let's get started on chopping it up. So the very first thing I do when fitting any type of magnet is I dry fit it onto the movement tray and I get a little nick in it. So I tend to follow that nick all the way down to make sure that we're getting a good straight line. If it's a little crooked, it's okay because the magnet will still adhere. Any type of excess I have, I tend to save in case I run out of sheet magnet later for my infantry. So for my Warriors of Chaos, that excess I'm cutting off right there is going to be great for the 25mm squares. So we're just going to do that, fit it on there. It's a really big deal that you dry fit everything going through this process. And it's a really, really big deal that in between every model you do, you wait for that glue to dry in place. Because if you go and you just base all your guys and magnetize all the bottom of the bases, there's a huge chance that the magnets might reject each other all lined up. And that's a huge issue. You might as well have just not wasted the time to magnetize. So right here, I'm going to go through and I'm going to be applying my Loctite super glue. I do a square with 2 lines going, like making an X across it. And then I'm going to self-adhere my magnetic sheet. After self-adhering the magnetic sheet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a square out, or rectangle in this case for the knight. Dry fit it, make sure it adheres perfectly, and I'm going to super glue along the lines of the rectangle, going in a complete rectangle, and then also getting it on some of the lines as you can see here. I do this to help maintain the magnetic sheet for longer, and also like if there's ever an issue where it should lift in the corner, it won't completely come off because the glue in the center of the base is holding it. So it's just an extra safety precaution for me. So that way throughout time they don't start lifting off because it's only being held on by a little piece. So what I'm going through now is I'm cleaning up around the base of the Chaos Knight. As you can see here, there's a little bit of excess that's hanging off the side. All I'm doing is taking my hobby knife and cleaning that up. And when you're all done, your model should be able to hang upside down as shown in my self-viewing camera. If they can hang upside down, you did a great job. That's tip-top, that's how you want it. Now I grab Old Wonky. Old Wonky is my brush that's just been there through the test of time. It goes in the trenches and it gets all super glued up so I can go and base my minis. Yes, super glue to me on my basing is legit. I don't like touching it. I don't like retouching anything I do. So as time goes on, my basing material is not going to get scraped off. Loctite's a really great super glue, given the fact that I've never had anything really break unless it's been dealing something like a giant resin piece that has a lot of weight to it. And the big thing a lot of people stay away from Loctite, so like, hey, if I use Loctite, I can't undo the miniature. I can't do it. If I make a mistake, well, how do I fix it? Super quick and easy. If you make a mistake using Loctite super glue, put it in the freezer and it'll come right off. So as you can see with my brush, I just spread it across the entire rectangle base. I'm going to take the model, dip it inside my old lunchbox container. I think that was one of my kids actually. And I'm just going to slowly let the basing material move around on itself. For my basing material, you'll see a combination of sand, cork rocks, and actual rocks. If you pick up sand or anything off the beach, be sure to bake it, get any bacteria off of it. I just did mine 450 for like 30 minutes to be safe. You probably don't even need to do that, but I did it to be safe. So just allow the base material to move naturally. If you go and you shove the whole miniature in there, you're going to get a bunch of buildup around the feet of the model, and it's going to look really, really bad. So just dip the corner in and scoot the basing material all throughout the base. Don't get in there. And it should look like this. Very fine and nice consistent layer of it. Here we are with our unit of Chaos Knights with the Mark of Khorne done, upside down, completely based, and ready to rock and roll and get painted now. So for me, this is something I decided to do for fun. I hope everyone kind of found this a little bit of informative and also something that they'll look at and appreciate. I enjoy making videos like this. Fantasy Battles has been my main go-to game. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching, and I will do my best to upload a new video every week. I also stream on Twitch if you want to catch me live there. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day, and take care.